The series shifting to Seattle, and the Blue Jays wake up, hanging 13 runs on the scoreboard. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with one of 5 home runs hit by Toronto in this game. That's tied for the most homers in a postseason game in franchise history. Didn't need all 13 runs, but it certainly felt good for the Blue Jays. 13 runs on 18 hits, considering they had 4 runs on 8 hits in games 1 and 2, and now we have a series. Seattle still leads the best of 7, 2-1. But man, the Blue Jays open up a can on Seattle, and Shane Bieber, we said pregame, hey, just give me 2 runs, maybe 4 innings. He gave you more. 6 innings, 2 runs, 8 strikeouts. He had 1 bad inning, and he's able to cruise rest of way and give Toronto what they needed as the Blue Jays get a game on the road, 13-4. Back here with Lewis Brinson. Let's welcome in former Phillies GM Rubén Amaro Jr. And look, Lewis, the Blue Jays bats, they wake up. 4 total runs in the first 2 games. They hit 5 home runs in game 3. What was different for Toronto in this game?
They came out swinging. Excuse me, Toronto. I didn't think you guys, had that much. I mean, obviously we know this offense is potent, right? This is a great offense led by Vladimir Guerrero Jr. tonight, going 4 for 4 tonight. But, I mean, it was everybody. I mean, Addison Barger was looking like he was going to be the only guy, and he popped one at the end of the game. So they were just aggressive early. They were aggressive in the zone. They knew that Kirby was a strike thrower. He's going to be in the zone, and they took advantage of that, right? He was throwing fastballs. Early in the game, he was getting them to swing and miss at his slider down in the zone. He wasn't really locating that fastball, as you can see with Mr. George Springer go dead center there. But, I mean, they just took their aggressive nature out on the baseball tonight, and the offense definitely, like you said before, woke up tonight for sure.
Really super impressive. Sometimes you got to have your big boy step forward, and that's exactly what they had. I mean, you had Vlad Guerrero doing his damage, driving the ball out all over the place, hit a couple of bullets. I mean, he was on base 5 times. But you also got a lot of, production out of a guy like George Springer, who has been there and done it. He's got probably more at-bats in the postseason than anybody on the planet. But he got got the work done. I was super impressed by the bottom end of the lineup. We talked about this. The back end of this lineup, I mean, you had Clement and Jimenez. Those guys went 5 for 10. Those guys did some serious damage setting up for Springer as well. Pretty nice when you have that kind of depth in your lineup. Andres Jimenez actually got things going, not sort of a light-hitting shortstop known for his defense, but he got things going with the big home run, and then Vlad tacked on, and then it got crazy after a while.
Rubén, top of the 3rd, Ernie Clement leads off with a double, and you know what Lewis is saying to me right here? Bunt him over. Bunt him over. That's the right thing to do. But then the 9-hole hitter goes yakety yak, yickety yak, and gone.
Yeah, I mean, you just like I did say he's not lying. I did say, hey man, why don't you bunt him over? He hadn't been really swinging the bat that well, the 9-hole, and lo and behold, he goes deep, and like you said, gets the offense going. So I mean, if you got your 9-hole hitter having an offensive day like he did, hitting home runs. Now you don't expect him to do that, every time. You're not expecting him to give you that type of production, but if you got 1 through 9 doing this on a daily basis, on a nightly basis, man, this series is gonna go longer than we thought.
Yeah, you got the 9-hole hitter producing, and you got Vladdy Jr. producing. He locks back in hitless in the first 2 games of the series. Of course, he was awesome in the ALDS, 9 for 17, 3 homers. Game 3 of the ALCS, 4 for 4, Lewis, and a triple shy of the cycle. But he actually had a chance. What did you see from Vladdy in this game? Because it was something that you have been seeing throughout this postseason.
Right. He's been hitting the ball hard. Like I said at the beginning in our pregame show, he's been hitting the ball hard. He's been finding barrels. He's just been finding gloves, too. But today he found some holes. He found that left field wall. Let me tell you, that left field wall is feeling it today. But he just, again, took advantage of pitches middle of the zone tonight. He took advantage of mistakes, and Vladdy was just the superstar tonight. He put the team on his back there, decided to, he's going to, and this is the triple that he should have had. didn't have a triple this year. His last triple was last year, and that was the one. You see his teammates right there, man. You should have just went third. I told him. I told Akeem, he's like, if he hits anything in the gap, I'm going 3, no matter what. But Vladdy with a great night, 4 for 4 tonight, gets intentionally walked, and Vladdy is back.
Yeah, you look at some of those pitches. Pretty much every one of those pitches was in the middle of the plate, letting him get extension. When he gets extended, forget about it. And now, almost all of them were breaking balls in the middle of the plate that he handled extremely well. When you leave a pitch in the middle of the plate for Vladdy when he's on, forget about it. That happens with a lot of the great hitters. You say, well, wow, that was just a great job of hitting. Well, what happens is the pitchers get a little nervous, and Kirby was flipping some breaking balls right in the middle of the plate, and Vladdy, he was doing his damage on him. Really impressive work by not just him, but other guys getting pitches to hit and not missing them. That was the key for Toronto today, and they showed exactly why they're one of the best offensive teams in baseball.
Vladdy's first career postseason game with 4 hits, and he showed us why he is one of the elite bats in the game. Of course, they paid him a ton of money before the season, or as the season started. They tried to get a deal before the season started, then he finally signed the massive deal. And then, considering what they did at the trade deadline, sort of a no-risk, low-risk reward deal here with Shane Bieber, right? Like, they go out and make a trade with Cleveland, they get him. Let's see what you got. He's coming off Tommy John surgery. And, Lewis, we said pregame, if he can go out there and give me 4 innings, maybe 2 runs, he goes out 6 innings, 2 runs, 8 strikeouts. He only had 1 bad inning, the first inning, and then he settled in.
He cruised after that first inning, but I want to take you to back to that first inning where you saw him kind of just leaving pitches a little too middle. You see Kirk standing up in the outside corner. It leaks back over, and Julio Rodriguez did not miss that pitch, sends that deep left center to give a jolt to this offense. And then you go to the hottest hitter on the planet right now, Jorge Polanco.
Freeze it.
Same thing. Sets up outside corner. It leaks back over middle. Jorge Polanco deposits that for a double. But after this, he was like, you know what, man, let me lock back in. Decides to locate this slider down. That's his bread and butter. He locates that slider down, hitting the gloves finally. Wherever Kirk, after that first inning, wherever Alejandro Kirk set it up, Shane Bieber was hitting that with no problem. And he made these guys chase. He made these guys chase up. He did a great job of hitting his spots right after that first inning. And kudos to him, man, because, again, they needed this big time from Shane Bieber.
He was locked in. Both of you, by the way, have great mustaches. You and Shane Bieber. Fantastic.
You should see when I grow it out.
Similar.
It looks like Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, I love it. I mean, I love it in the postseason. You can get that playoff beard, that playoff mustache. And look, Rubén, he went away from the fastball. He started working that off speed is really what helped him settle in.
Yeah, so I looked at some of the numbers here. 12 swings and misses, 7 swings and misses on the slider. But he also had 4 swings and misses on his 4-seamer because his depth of his slider got really, really good. So they had to be really aware of it. And then he was locating his fastball as well. Mixed it up extremely well. I look at some of these numbers. 30% slider, 23% 4-seam, and then 16% for each is changeup, knuckle curve, and cutter. I thought he had a really impressive cutter at times as well, but the depth of the slider is the thing that made the difference for him. He got locked in on it. That's his bread and butter, and you saw it. It wasn't just sliding across the plate. It had more depth, and then it made those Mariners hitters much more aware of it. And that's when he could start carving them up. Great job of getting 6 innings and really holding things down for the Toronto Blue Jays.
I think I want to look back at, I think he knew the plan for the Seattle Mariners. He knew that they were going to come out and be aggressive because he's a strike thrower at the end of the day. Yeah, he didn't have a good outing against the Yankees, but he throws strikes. He fills up the strike zone very, very efficiently. So he took advantage. He knew this Seattle offense was going to be gearing to be aggressive early in the count, and he took advantage of that, especially after that first inning. He's like, all right, these guys are swinging. Let me try to use their aggression against them, and he did a great job of that tonight.
Yeah, this outing's certainly going to help him in free agency, but really ultimately trying to help the Blue Jays win a World Series. They still got plenty of work to do, and you consider the Game 4 matchup. the starting pitcher for Toronto is 41-year-old Max Scherzer. The question is, does he still have it in him to get you something? It's Luis Castillo for Seattle. Max Scherzer is seeking his first postseason win since 2019 when he was with the Nationals, helping win a World Series. 0-3 with a 0-3 with a 5 ERA in his last 9 postseason appearances. You see the numbers there. Lewis, this is going to be tough, right? Like, if you're Max Scherzer, if you're the Blue Jays here in this Game 4 and you're trying to even up the series, what is the minimum that you need from Max in Game 4?
I think the minimum is probably 4 innings out of Max Scherzer. And I'm giving him 4 innings because, one, I've faced Max Scherzer. I've never gotten a hit off him. I hit a couple balls hard, but Max Scherzer, yeah, he's a little older. They're kind of going with the back of the name on the back of the jersey here. But at the same time, I'm kind of banking on him, you know, getting that dog in him, getting that crazy look in his eye. He's got the different color. Eyes going. So I'm kind of looking at that as far as the Blue Jays looking at him like maybe he can get something going. He gets that, you know, that aggression in him, and he just takes the ball and runs with it. Maybe he gives him 5. Maybe.
It's a lot to ask,
but that's what I'm thinking as far as Max Scherzer. I don't think, you know, we're not banking on him striking out 12 or striking out 10, but I think he's going to have, like I say, he's going to have that dog in him. He's going to put some fight out there for the Blue Jays and give them a little bit more than what they expect, hopefully.
Yeah, my feeling is on this guy that he's one of the greatest competitors on the mound in the history of the game. He may not have the same stuff, but not only is he a great competitor, but he's also a student of the game. You can be sure that he was watching every single pitch, how Shane Bieber was working every single one of these guys during the course of the game, and he has the ability to mix things up. He doesn't have the same stuff, not the electric stuff that he once had, but I will assure you that he'll be competing and learned a lot from what he just saw out of Shane Bieber. And it's pretty obvious that if this, you know, Toronto Blue Jays, you know, if this offense continues to get them runs, they got a chance to get back into this thing. And I will tell you what, I don't think that the Seattle Mariners want to go back to Toronto to play Games 6 and 7.
They might. They hit well in Toronto. They might.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're not wrong. I think they want to end this series in Seattle and win this for the home fans.
They definitely do.
For sure.
They definitely do. And I'll tell you, Gino Suarez, Julio Rodriguez, and J.P. Crawford, and Jorge Polanco, guess what? Have all homered off of Max Scherzer. So their lineup season pretty good. Mm-hmm. So we'll see if they can see him pretty good when it matters on Thursday, as the Toronto Blue Jays earned their first ALCS road win since 1993. Last time they won a World Series when they went back-to-back in 92, 93. Rubén Amaro Jr., Lewis Brinson here with us on CBS Sports HQ, talking ball throughout the postseason. The birds of prey. Look, I got a bird feeder at my house. The Blue Jay comes to the bird feeder. All the rest of the birds, they scatter. The Blue Jay is dominant. And the Blue Jays on this night, dominant. 13 runs, 5 homers, 18 hits. You see where these rank in franchise postseason history? I mean, this was a historic night for the Blue Jays, and they are back in this series. Game 4 set for Thursday night back in Seattle.